Is it? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's get
Okay.
ready.
I'm just gonna start. So my friend Nathan sent me a video of his stand-up, and I sent him mine from the last Purple Lining event. And I was like, wow, Nathan, look at you standing up like the comedians do. And he was like, honestly, Erika, I didn't know comedians were allowed to sit, but I'm gonna try that next time. I'm not from the West Coast, which I feel like is pretty obvious. You wouldn't see me and be like, oh, she seems West Coast chill. You'd probably see me and think, she looks like someone whose whole personality is telling people that her dad is gay. Some people are from the West Coast. Me, I'm from the East Coast, and also my dad is gay. I grew up in Frederick, Maryland, where there's only one mountain and everything else is flat. Because of that, I really appreciate the Vancouver scenery and the mountains. I'll have friends visit from the East Coast, and they're always blown away by the mountains. They'll be like, wow, I can't believe we didn't grow up with mountains. They're so beautiful. I love that there's more than one. I would honestly trade my firstborn for these views. And I'm like, yeah, the mountains are super beautiful. I actually did have to trade my firstborn for these views. That was the security deposit for my apartment. The market is like super crazy right now. My East Coast friends and I can just sit and stare at the mountains for hours, just in awe of all the West Coast beauty. I also have friends who have spent their whole lives on the West Coast, and with them it's super different. I'll be like, the mountains are looking good today, what do you think? And they'll be like, Jesus Christ, Erika. Shut up about the fucking mountains. All you talk about is the mountains. When I told you that my dad left when I was a kid, you responded with, I totally get it. I didn't grow up with mountains. And I'm just like, I mean, I didn't grow up with mountains. Some people have dads and some people have mountains. And then my friend usually gets mad at me, so we go our separate ways to our $3,000 per month basement studio apartments. And we never speak of the terrain again. I grew up on the East Coast, and every summer I went to Jewish summer camp. Anybody here go to summer camp? Doesn't have to be Jewish. I always remember coming home with a lot of really great memories. I also remember coming home bisexual. My mom sent me to camp, maybe if anything, worried that I'd get lice, but she never imagined she'd send her 12-year-old to camp and then 5 weeks later pick up the same kid who mysteriously developed this newfound super intense passion for equal rights in Doc Martens and also has lice. There are two different types of camp experiences, just two. One where you roast marshmallows, sing songs, get lice, etc. And other camp experiences where you do all the same things, but you end up bisexual. So it was 50-50, and my mom probably should have just done more research. When I told my mom that I was bisexual, she didn't believe me, so then I had to be like, have you ever seen me fully commit to one thing? And she was like, no, you're right, I believe you now. But I did know that I was bisexual before going to summer camp. I did typical closeted kid things like search girls kissing on YouTube and take the Am I Gay quiz on amigayquiz.com. And you're familiar with the website? Also learn how to clear my browser history though, which my dad couldn't even do at 50 years old. I would clear his browser history too, so that my mom wouldn't see it. At that point, my parents weren't staying together for the kids. They were staying together because of the kid, me. I was deleting so much gay porn off of my dad's computer. I was really holding down the gay fort in my house. He can never see this, he'd be so upset. Being Jewish is all about having a common ground. I always feel more comfortable when I'm around other Jews because I know we've probably had some similar experiences. We all think that Christmas is maybe more fun than Hanukkah, but we'll never admit that. We all had a music and or sports themed bar bat mitzvah. We're all circumcised. We all have that one aunt who gets a little bit too drunk on Rosh Hashanah and decides she's going to tell the whole table about our uncle's affair with the rabbi, and how during the affair the rabbi was also tutoring our cousin for his bar mitzvah. Not at the same time, but like in the same period of time, but unbeknownst to everyone, the rabbi wasn't even a licensed rabbi with the board of rabbis. She had her license revoked because of the dildo and the matzo ball soup incident of 2002. If you're not Jewish, this is probably all going over your head, and I'm really sorry. But memories like that, very non-specific, super relatable one, are like memories that all of us Jews share, and it makes us feel really connected, and I think that's really special. A hand job is the only time that that a man will sacrifice a job being done efficiently and well by themselves for it to be done a lot worse by someone else. The first time I gave a hand job, I was so nervous. My hands were so sweaty and shaky that the guy came before I even started the hand job. Because 8th grade, right? The build-up to an orgasm is the weirdest part, at least for me. Sometimes I dabble in acoustic masturbation, you know what I mean, no porn, just my imagination, like the vegans do. And sort of like a sexy brainstorm. I'll be like, okay, set the scene. I'm in the shower with someone hot, first person that comes to mind, Jacob from Twilight. And he's like, wow, Erika, you're so hot. And then I'll say, that's because we're in a hot shower, Jacob from Twilight. And he'll say, you're so funny and brilliant. All your jokes are so funny and well thought out and super funny. And then I come, because if there's one thing I know about myself, it's that if you compliment me, I'll have an orgasm. That being said, I am quite frugal with my orgasms. I took a financial planning course, and it's kind of taken over my whole life. I'm really good with money now, though. I won't spend it on just anything anymore. I also won't let myself have an orgasm if I've made too big a purchase recently. Like, if I just bought expensive concert tickets, I'll be like, okay, no orgasms for a little while. I really do try to make my orgasms last, like I'll ration them, because you never know. What if one day there's an emergency on an airplane and someone's like, we need a person with spare orgasm, so this plane is gonna go down. And I can stand up and be like, did somebody say spare orgasm? But my thought process is like, if I don't use all my orgasms, they'll work like vacation days and roll over into the next year. I once had a boyfriend who would call whatever porn he was currently into his show. He thought it was similar to like how old ladies have General Hospital and babies have like Peppa Pig. But I'd come into the room and he'd be watching the most aggressive porn you'd ever seen. Not even masturbating, sometimes not even watching. He'd have it just like on while doing other things, like his taxes or making dinner. Stuff people do while watching The Office or like normal television. And I'd be like, how about we turn something else on? And he'd be like, oh, you've seen this one before? And I'll say, no, I just want to watch something else. And he'd go, okay, just after this episode is over, you know how I get about my shows. To which I'd respond, but you're not even masturbating, which I've never had to use as a justification before. And he's like, yeah, because it's a rerun. Like, I'm the idiot. That's my favorite one right now. So yeah, I've been in therapy for a while. I recently asked my therapist to give me her notes from our session because I needed some new material for my stand-up set. Sometimes I'll be crying to my therapist but make a little joke while like wiping tears or like sobbing, and she'll kind of giggle out of pity. And I'll be like, did you write that down? That was kind of good. I can turn that into something. And she's like, life isn't all about the bit. You don't have to make everything funny, Erika. Remember, even without the jokes, you're a beautiful person. You're strong, intelligent, and you're funny. And then I came. My boyfriend's parents made an Instagram account for their new puppy and have been posting things as the dog, like in first person, or I guess technically first dog. Like, I love my crate, or like, playing tug of war with my toys is my favorite. And I'm just looking at these posts thinking like, yeah, this is something that normal people do. And then I just turn off my phone and I make some tea and throw on my go-to comfort porn and go to sleep. Because you know me, I can't fall asleep without my show. The end.